Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching The Breakfast on Plus TV Africa. Well, right now it is time to discuss the Yuletide, and we're saying driving tourism through growth through Detty December. Yes, Detty December has become a vibrant phenomenon, attracting both local and international visitors to Nigeria during the festive season. With concerts, cultural festivals, and family reunions, it boosts the tourism sector through increased hotel bookings, transportation, and local business patronage. This surge in activities positions Nigeria as a top destination, showcasing the nation's rich culture, hospitality, and thriving creative industry while driving significant economic growth. We'll be looking at this social phenomenon and trying to understand how we as a nation can tap into it further as an attempt to further boost Nigeria's tourism sector. Joining us to discuss this is Ihechukwu Ibeji. He's a public affairs analyst. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, viewers at home. Good morning, and thank you for having me. Yeah. Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas to you. So we're talking about Detty December first. What is Detty December, and how has this, just become a phenomenon in Nigeria, whereby everybody is looking at this place as their destination for having fun, especially in December?
Thank you very much. Okay, so I think a couple of years ago, Detty December was a kind of social media coinage and this sensation that came to being with performances happening in Lagos, especially over almost every other day in a particular month in December. I think about 3 or 4 years ago, it came to being, and it became a burgeoning phenomenon because we had artists, well-known artists in Nigeria, performing every single day of the month of December, that particular year in question. And you also had so many parties, so many groups, so many events happening at that period in December, and that coinage came to being because of that particular sequence of events. And since then, it has stuck. And suffice it to say that it had caught fire since that time. Yeah.
I mean, this is 5 years in the making, because I remember 2019, that was just before we went into 2020 where we had the lockdown. I think the American rapper Cardi B was in Nigeria, and she spoke highly about, Nigeria. She went to where the lights were made and did a lot of videos. And I think that just garnered attraction, whereby now a lot of people want to come into Nigeria. As of right now, we've seen American superstars in Nigeria. We have Chloe Bailey, we have Ghana, we have so many people, actually, Sowiti, actually coming into Nigeria. How do you think this would bolster, our economy? Because, of course, if people are coming in here, they have to stay somewhere. So we're talking hotel bookings. They have to go move around. We're talking about transportation. They have to eat, of course. So we're talking about food. We're talking about a lot of things happening here. And I would just take a story whereby a friend of mine, I met someone through a friend of mine, and she's from Zimbabwe. And I'm like, why are you here? She was like, I just wanted to come experience Detty December. And I'm like, wow. I mean, I'm meeting people who just say they want to come into Nigeria. How do you think this would boost our, or, just help our economy better, especially through tourism that we're not really looking into at the moment?
Thank you very much. And it's so interesting that you brought this up. I looked through, and prior to coming up here, I looked through the search and data, online search and data analyst platform Statista, and it tells me that travel and tourism contributed about 3.6%. That's according to Statista. It contributed 3.6% to Nigeria's GDP in 2022, which was equal to around 17.3 billion US dollars.
Wow.
And so compared to 2020, the contribution of travel and tourism to Nigeria alone has increased, experienced an increase. And then I went further to also check out, because Lagos has become quite a hub in terms of Detty December. So I looked at what it contributes, what Lagos contributes to the GDP in terms of travel and tourism from 2006 to 2016, and just a bit of a forecast for 2026. And it told me that it was around approximately 3.4 billion US dollars. This year alone, has been incredible, because the rundown to this year, you could see that a lot of people have wanted somewhere to relax, somewhere to just chill, if I may use that word. And the impact has been unbelievable, because tourism has been impacted in such a way that hotels are fully booked. Look at the shows that have been happening in the past couple of days. You've had Olamide, you've had the video last night. It was packed out, and these are just musicians. You had Rema. Rema did, I think, at TBS, and I mean there was no go area. So the impact in that is that the GDP for Nigeria will continue to increase. Hotels are booking, are fully booked practically back to back. And there's a pull-out effect on that, because after each show, you see that the people want to have fun to the wee hours of the morning, because this is the holiday period. So they spill into the clubs. So the other day we were at one of the clubs, I wouldn't like to name names, and you saw that some of the celebrities came in there, and that place was also packed out. So in terms of hotels, oh yes, it's also another area. And then they want to try out your cuisine, your food, because the people have come in, they want to taste new food as obtained to what they get from time to time. And also at the same time, they also want to try out new areas and new things. And so essentially, that generally is the impact. The impact is also on employment, because at this point in time, you see that there are people who they wait for times like this to have quick employment, people who are on vacation, back jobs, people who have been on quick breaks in their job, and they can have that time to work and then complete that work within the period of December. So in terms of employment, in terms of hotel and accommodation, in terms of food, in terms of cuisine, this is the kind of impact that you get from a Detty December, if I may say so.
Amazing.
But it seems as if there hasn't been an aggressive policy or something in preparation for this kind of Detty December to take advantage of what is happening. It seems as if so many people just take advantage that it is happening, but there's no deliberate plan towards it. Because I don't see our tourism sector really planning ahead, so many months that there's going to be a Detty December, this is what we are going to do, X, Y, Z. Sometimes these people come and all they see about Nigeria is Lagos. And nothing is being done to make sure that they can also explore other places. Because
for instance, Calabar,
potential don't end in Lagos. There is Calabar, there are so many other places that they could have gone to. So what do you think could be done to deliberately steer the people towards coming to Nigeria, not only to enjoy Detty December, but to take advantage and also see Nigeria the way it should be seen by the outside world?
Fantastic. Let me tell you that what you just said now is what is required in terms of a coordinated policy, so to speak, to harness and leverage on the potentials of what we just spoke about. We're talking about Lagos now, but guess what? There are actually other events that come to mind. But in terms of what can be done is, number one, because the government ends from every time that somebody buys food, somebody gets to do an event in terms of taxes and all of that, they have to ensure that there's security. Both internal security and intra-security. I mean, you need to ensure that when it comes to cities that have to provide security, you ensure that security are in place, security agents are in place, and there are no harassments in terms of searching and all of that. In terms of diplomatic relations, in terms of people being able to enter into the country, you have to ensure that you make it easy for them. I'm sorry, but that's what it takes for you to encourage tourism. You have to make sure that it's easy for people to get their visas to come in here, even if it's brief tourism visas, even if it's visiting visas. They have to be able to get it easily for them to come in and give and of course provide funds and contribute to the economy. You have to also ensure that the employment range by the Ministry of Productivity is well streamlined. What I mean by that is that you have to ensure that the data and statistics that are required for people who are employed and who require jobs are available to the hotels and the recreational centers to be able to harness such data. Do we have such data available where they can just go and tap in and say, Mr. A or B requires a job, a vac job at this point in time? And this is what happens in other countries, tourism destinations like Morocco, for instance. You also, most importantly, also have to ensure that you have centers that can handle the number of people that can handle the number of crowds that are required. Do you have a 5,000 capacity, 5,000 sitting capacity, or 5,000 outdoor capacity, sitting capacity that can take people, for instance? Look at the O2 Arena. We talk about O2 Arena, for instance, if I may use that. O2 Arena. Do you have such a center in Nigeria where people can say, we want to hold our shows there, we want to attract people there? These are some of the deliberate things that government needs to do, all right, ahead of time. And it's not something that they need to begin to think about. It's something that they need to begin to tap now. Because just as we've discussed now, what is going on is that every private establishment, every businessman, every person who has a center, every major center like the eco hotels of this world, like the landmarks of this world, for instance, are taking advantage by themselves. You need to have somebody to direct them, or if they are being directed, you need to have the government to come out to provide that a systemic guide to enable people be aware that these things are available. I think those are some of the things that they can put in place to encourage this.
I totally agree with you, because we have to look at all of these things. Security is a major issue in Nigeria. In fact, a critical issue that, we deter people from coming in, because if they don't feel safe, they don't want to go to a place. So if we can handle that, handle the logistics, the ease of getting visas, like you've said, then, things might just be in our favor. And also, I think at some point, the tourism, the people handling tourism in Nigeria, they definitely need to have a lineup. So you know what's happening in Lagos, you know what's happening in Abuja, you know what's happening in different cities, and wherever you want to go, you have a lineup of all of the events happening. But my final question to you first is going to be, has your December been dirty?
I'll let the cat out of the bag, because yes, I must confess, I just crept in about maybe around 5 a.m. or thereabout.
Wow.
I tell you something, what is going on out there is just something else.
It's ridiculous.
Every street, yes, totally ridiculous. And if I may just chip in before I go on, you just spoke about different events happening.
Yes.
The government also needs to find a way to link some of these events, so that they can provide some kind of transport. If you say train service is what you want to do, you should have a train service that can take you from Lagos to Oshun Festival when it's time. You should have a train service that can take you, for instance, to Ofala Festival in Anambra State, which is also a source of tourism for them. You should have a train service that can be able to provide you to Agungi Fish Festival. So yes, certainly, my dirty December has been dirty.
Okay, so what would be your advice? What would be your advice for other people, especially non-Nigerians who have to come into the country? What would be your advice? Why do you think they should experience Dirty December? Because I know people are saying Lagos or Dirty December is the new Miami spring break, because, Miami used to have a thing like that. But of course, we're getting global recognition here right now in Nigeria. How can we maintain that? And what would you tell people who need to experience Dirty December?
Look, if you want to experience Dirty December, and we all are unrepentant optimists, somewhat. You need to come here, because this is a place where you can spend your dollar, so to speak, and get value for your money. You check it, you come to a place like this, it's quite affordable if you compare to how much you want to spend abroad in terms of dollar and pounds. But when you change your naira here, change it to naira here, you can enjoy yourself maximally. This is a cultural hub right now, if I may speak, where every international artist is being attracted. And I tell you something, with the little that we mentioned in terms of artists, by next year, I foresee situation by even more international arts are going to come into Nigeria, because it is very, very affordable for them. So as you're coming in, of course, ensure your diplomatic keys are done. Ensure that you put yourself in safe places in terms of hotel and accommodation. Do your research prior to that time before you come in here. Make sure that you have a friend who's guiding you. You have a guide, all right? And of course, ensure that your embassies are fully aware of your presence here, and just let loose. Don't go to places because I know that embassies will not provide them with security tips. Don't go to places where your embassies have advised you to go to. And then, of course, I believe that you enjoy yourself maximally. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the food. The cuisine is beautiful.
Yeah.
You can't get it anywhere else. Absolutely.
When you're talking about value for your money, I was just like, is it because the naira is weak? And of course, they're coming in with dollars, so there's more money. But at least, yes, there's some taxes that would be generated from that, which is great.
Don't worry. We don't have snow in Nigeria, so they sing a song, may your Christmases be white. So in Nigeria, it's may your Christmas be dirty. Right?
At this point,
keep having a Detty December, and we wish you a Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. Finally, what is your Christmas message for Nigerians today?
Hey, Nigerians, despite whatever we've gone through the year, we're here.
Yes.
So my message to them is just enjoy your Christmas, show love to every single person who you can show love within the limits of which you can do. And of course, stay safe. And of course, Christmas is the season. I mean, enjoy it and be happy.
Thank you so much. It's been wonderful speaking with you, Ihechukwu. Thank you so much for your time. Merry Christmas to you once again. Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you too.
Yeah.
All right, we've been speaking with Ihechukwu Ibeji. He's a public affairs analyst, and we've just been talking about tourism in Nigeria through Detty December. So, of course, a lot of people are here now, and we hope that this will just be the rise for something new. And in years to come, Nigeria will be that destination that has global recognition. All right, that's it for our show today. Thank you so much for having the breakfast with us. Merry Christmas once again to you. We hope that your hearts, are filled with love. We hope that you spread joy in this season. And remember that, it's the reason for the season. So we're celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Thank you so much once again. My name is Rume Paulson.
I knew you had to drag it so that I would not ask you to sing, because I threatened you that you were going to sing for us at the end of the show. But this is what I composed when I was a little boy. I'm not singing it. I'll just read it. Lord, I was not worthy, but you sent your son Jesus to come and die for my sins. So he came on Christmas Day. He was God. For me, he was man. So in love, he came from above. Baby Jesus changed the whole world. So hello, Christmas. Hello.
Oh, that's so beautiful, Nyamgul.
Bye for now. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas
it was a nice
to
song,
you.
But it's for another day, not at Christmas.
Thank
Bye
you
for
so
now.
much. Have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas.
Bye.